Hi, everyone, and welcome for participating in this new EITF alumni web series where we talk about innovative and disruptive healthcare. I'm Lucas Perez. I'm a strategic expert and author in health and aging solutions, and I'm also a French representative for one of the largest European network of entrepreneurs, companies, academics, and institutions called Innovators Community. So before to start, I would like to share you some information about two events which coming up. The first event is Viva Technology. And I would like to inform you that we have 100 student pass for this event, free pass for this event. And any student participant who are registered for this session will receive a free pass by email. Also, if you have friends or colleagues who want to participate, don't hesitate to directly contact them. Also, and as a partner of the MedTech World event to be held in October, we have free standard pass and 25% of discount of every pass. And it could be interesting if you have a startup and if you want to make a reservation for a startup because they have both for them. Is it okay for you guys? Okay. And now it's a pleasure to discuss with Aurore Sliwanski, who is CEO of one of the most famous company in the field of VR and healthcare, in the field of VR and rehabilitation. And they are working hard to propose fun and effective solutions for functional rehabilitation. She will tell us about his lifestyle, his company, and his feeling about VR for medicine and sports. So if you have any question, don't be shy. Please put them in the chat, and we will answer them just after this session. So before giving the floor to Aurore, I would like to show you how VR is important for healthcare, how VR is important for medicine, sport, and wellness. I would like to show you that VR in particular is very relevant for several medical specialties. And let us not confuse with this VR with another type of technology like AR, which is augmented reality, which is a sort of superimposition of virtual elements in a real environment. It's the example of Pokemon Go that everybody knows. And by using a mobile app, you can see, for example, a crazy monster through the app in your real environment. And Voskalia, as well as other companies offering this type of technology, you can see that VR offers us a certain type of a fully immersive environment. So VR is not for everyone, and for all type of patients. So that's why we did a job study with Voskalia in order to understand why VR is, for example, more relevant for a teenager than children, why VR is more relevant for example, pregnant women, their first semester than another type of pregnant women. And is VR relevant for medicine, for example, after stroke, or is VR is more relevant for non-medical field like wellness or sport industry? So to make this study, we asked to our doctor if VR is relevant for certain type of pathology. And the first question was listing physical medicine and rehabilitation pathology that VR can explore. And the first answer with more than 90% was locomotor systems. It was all the pathologies related to the locomotor system after a car accident, for example, or just after a stroke. Then we have neurology, and just after we have geriatry. We also ask to the doctors, to a different type of doctors, is VR useful and relevant to your specialty? And a large amount of doctors say that VR is highly relevant regarding their respective specialty. So we have a daily specialty like PMR, orthopedic surgery, pediatrics, midwife and obstetrics, psychiatry, diabetes and metabolism medicine, and oncology. And of course, we have certain doctors saying that VR is completely irrelevant, especially in psychiatry. And certain doctors say that VR is irrelevant because the patient, for example, suffering of psychosis could be in this virtual world regarding the fact that they have their own reality. So now it's time to let the floor to Aurore, and let Aurore speak about her solution. So thank you for listening, and it's your turn, Aurore.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Lucas. I can share my screen now. So just before my slides, I would like to tell you a little story. So a few years ago, my son, 15 years old, asked me if I had already heard about NFTs and blockchain. I had no idea what he was talking to me about. And he just told me it's the future. And at the same time, at the TV news, they broached this subject. So it was really confusing because they were talking about NFTs, blockchain, cryptocurrency, the new billionaires. Really, it's like a melt. So it was really confusing for normal people like me. And it's like a fiction movie, you know? But we didn't know if it was a Star Wars movie or it was a Black Mirror serial. So it was really strange time. And from all this information, I had a vision. It's like a crossroad. One road, it was my teenager and other teenagers. They will live with all the Web3 and new technology. So it's easy for them. One other road, it was some of my relatives that my relative, but not all my relative, they took blockchain and new technology is the devil and soon will killed by robots. So it's a vision also. And the last road was my parents-in-law. My parents-in-law, they are 92 now, and they don't understand at all new technology and what is the good thing in new technologies. It's old people, but they did a big step. They learn how to use computer. They learn how to use for bank account, for watching news, and how to use also for meeting. It's it's the people you can see two people, but only half face in the screen. It's really funny, but it's like the world of new technology. It's not their world anymore. And this picture, it's like a cold in my back, because I don't want to be part of a society, incredible new society with new technology, very efficient and very good for people. And the society can leave our elders in the low side. Because for me, each person has something to contribute to society. So I know people already told me it's my Miss Universe side. I live with unicorn in a beautiful world, but I really believe that each people can give something to the society, even in the nursing home. So from these pictures and all this, it's like a travel. I learned about new technology, VR, blockchain, NFT, how it works. And thanks to Hasher YouTube channel, it's the channel by Owen Simona, who was really helpful for me to learn about this new world, because it takes months and months to learn about it. And my switch on was when I read a question in a book. And the question was, what is the most incredible project you can create? And I start to write my project. And my question was, how to create a caring and healthy society with the new technology. And here we go. Ta-da! Fit Worlds VR, a health prevention and functional re-education in VR for healthcare establishments in the blockchain. This is my incredible project. So why the blockchain? Because for me, the blockchain is the best security for data. And we know now data is like new gold. So create a private blockchain for foundation and big companies is the best way to secure data for people. And for this one, we will start with a game. So our game, it's a huge metaverse. It's 8 worlds, and it's to develop every capacities to be in good health. So we know already that 30 minutes of physical activities per day is recommended. But it's easy for active people to go out and have a run, to move off or work at home. It's really easy. But I understand for elders and injured people, it can be difficult. And during our prospection, we found out that exercise can be boring. So we had a problem of motivation. And I understand also that when you have pain and when you feel like weight in articulation and it's really hard to move, it's hard to be motivated. So what we can do, it's to give fun and game to make physical activities more fun. It's our solution. So how can we do? Using the code of gaming to make rehabilitation more engaging. So it's helping patients, residents, and also staff. When we saw the market studies, we know that it's the right place at the right time. Because if you look at the average annual growth, so it's between 2019 and 2024, the annual growth will be more than 70%. And in Europe is 15% of AR, VR global spending. So we are at the right place. And when you look at the graphic, it's the predict market for 2025 for VR in AR application. And when you add healthcare and video game, you have half of markets. So we know for us, it's the right place at the right time. Here, sorry, the video is not working, but here we had the view of our game. So this game, in this game, nothing is scary, because I had this question a lot of time. Oh, it's in island in the Philippines. Maybe it can be spiders, and maybe it can be something dangerous. So no, this game, it's not scary, and our focus is the progression of the people. So it's really funny, because our brain cannot see if it's real or not. So it's like a travel. If you put your helmet, you are already in a island. So it's really funny to tricks to trick our brain. Here our gameplay. So first of all, headsets. It's more simple than a video game, because you don't need to plug on the TV. It's really simple. All it's already in the headset. So someone cannot go out from the room, for example. No problem. He can play with the headset. Someone want to play with other people? No problem. He can bring the headset with him. And for the staff also, it's really simple to install. Before to go to practice exercise in our game, you have to choose. You have to choose how to play. So you have to to check the case. If you cannot stand up, you can play sit down in a chair. If you have a problem with your right arm or your left arm, it's not a problem. The game will adapt exercise. So the gameplay is really simple. You go to the island, you connect with our character, very funny and workout trainer characters. You complete the exercise and you obtain rewards. There's no victory or defeat, but the focus is the progress. Because if you use 30 minutes our game 2 or 3 times per week, you will have the progress. Our target is healthcare establishments, so nursing home and hospital for children and adolescents. It's more for teenagers and young adults. So it's for an animation, and it's good for health, for physical and mental health. Mental health, because you have to focus of what you are doing. And we are not a medical dispositif, so we have more possibilities. So the goal is to use new technology like VR to connect people, so people can play together, and it's more fun with people than alone. Here our roadmap. So we had medical expertise this month, and the web series today was really important for us. We will start to sell our products in healthcare establishments this summer. First, it will be the French market, and the Lithuanian markets will be next year. We'll start in Lithuania, and in 2 years in the Canada. So why France, Lithuania, and Canada? So it's really simple. All the Voskalia team is in France. I live in Vilnius, so it's really easy for me to conquer the Baltic countries. And my associates is in Canada, in Toronto. So it's all over the world team. And that's why it's more easy for us like that. Thank you for your attention. I let you, Lucas.
Thank you. So thank you, Aurore, for your presentation. It was very brilliant, and I have many questions for you. And so yes, and if the audience wants to ask you some questions. It can be that. So my first question. So as you say, it's your solution. It's like a sort of travel, a sort of evasion, a sort of travel, a new experience for the patient in this island. And my question is about the future of your technology and globally the future of virtual reality. So, what will VR look like in the future for you? It's perspective.
For me, the VR will be more simple. So the headset will be more thin. The detection for all the body will be a little bracelet, maybe something very light. It has to be very light. In the future, I see the evolution, and I think in 5 years it will be more lighter. Yeah, and maybe the future will be mixed the virtual reality with a holographic system. It can be incredible.
Because you're right. So there is a lot of debates about the metaverse, virtual reality with haptic technology. For those who don't know what is haptic technology is, for example, a glove, a sort of glove where you feel, for example, a certain sense, the sense of touch, of touching something, or feeling something, the hair, and it's very interesting. So it's for the future, of course, but a lot of researchers and entrepreneurs say that the next level of virtual reality is about the sense, the sense of feeling something, the sense of touching with a high level of accuracy. And it could be very interesting to see in the future through your solutions, through Voskalia, for example, if your patient could feel I don't know the hand of his doctor, or it could be a track for your solution.
Yes, and if you can have more interaction with characters in the game. Wow. Yeah, it's a treat for the brain. It can be very confusing, but it can be also really fun and really helpful for people who cannot feel really well. Maybe it's a new therapy will be created with the VR and haptic gloves. Yeah.
Because it's all the difficulty of virtual reality, because, for example, in PMR, physical medicine for rehabilitation, the doctor has to touch the patient, has to guide the patient through certain type of exercise, certain type of rehab programs. And yes, the question is, how can I manage my exercise, my programs with this VR solution, and it's interesting for the patient, but also for the professional, who will use the VR solution. And my second question is about money. So, how much is it for your solution? If I decide to buy a Voskalia solution for my nursing home or for my hospital, how much is
it? If you decide to take our crazy solution, incredible solution, you have to It's a monthly rental. It's like that in English. I forgot. Sorry.
You pay
Renting.
for a monthly fee, like for mobile app or
Yes.
per month.
Yes, and it's depend of the number of access. It's depend of what's option you will take, and it depends if you have had or we have to bring in your healthcare establishment. So the minimum price is 1,300 euros, and you will have a new exercise every time, so 1 or 2 times per month, and you have in English, sorry, the customer service. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think and you will have option. So
So it depends. So it depends the number, the user number, the amount of user you have, but it could depends of the programs. For example, the hospital wants for their patient, or so it's a sort of tailor-made solution. You can personalize the solution. It's not a standardized solution. It's not a solution. Yes.
No, and the best with our solution is to follow up patients who go back home. Because we are not a medical dispositif, we are really free. So people who needs rehabilitation or exercise after hospital can use at home. And the most important is the follow-up with data. So doctors can see if the patient at home exercise or make progress. So it can be a follow-up like that.
And so I heard that you propose some NFT. So NFT is this non-fungible token. It's related to the blockchain sector, to the decentralized sector, Web3 field, and you can use this NFT as a patient, but also as an hospital. And if you want to use this digital asset, this title of property, because NFT is a title of property, you have to pay for that. You have to pay to this NFT, right?
So this NFT will be available, but later, because we have to focus on the game and the progress. And it's interesting for the foundation and the big company who has a lot of healthcare establishments. So they can have NFT for patients, and the patient is the owner of data.
Okay.
But the clinic or the healthcare establishment can consult it. So it's about security. It's about security data.
So yeah, the NFT could be used for the patient to share his personal information, his healthcare personal information to the doctors, to the healthcare system, or to a pharmaceutical industry for developing a new therapy, for example. Yeah. So with this type of digital asset, you could create at the end a sort of ecosystem, to create more value through your service. So yeah, it could be interesting. And I'm very interested in it because I like blockchain and Web3 technology. So it's very interesting. And to conclude, Aurore, so do you plan to have big partnership with a big hospital like in France? Because as you know, in France, you have a lot of big hospital like in the Paris area, and if it's confidential, you can answer.
Yes, we are working on it. Okay. Yes, we are working on it. It's really interesting to have the how to say in French it's confiance.
Confidence.
The confidence of one group and work together with one group. It's yes, we are working on it. Yeah, it's really great. And also, there's a lot of it's not a holding, but a lot of groups. It's not only in France, but in Europe. So it's really interesting to work together.
Because we saw some project, and you probably know this project in Switzerland, in France, where hospitals use VR technology for Parkinsonian people, for people suffering of a certain type of injury just after a car accident, and the people use, for example, certain type of work environment, in a sort of environment where you are in the mountains, trekking or making some sports through the virtual reality, because the body isn't there. Your body can respond cause to the accident or cause to a stroke or any type of disease or injury, and it could be very interesting. And recently I used an immersive technology during a congress in Paris, and it was very relaxing. And as you mentioned, it's very important to dissociate the medical solution as your solutions for pediatrics. It's the essence of our job study, because Voskalia is maybe probably for pediatrics, for geriatrics. And on the other hand, you have the other solutions for non-medical purpose, like example for us, for people like us. And it's interesting because the purpose is about wellness, is about relaxing session, is about, yes, there is a dissociation between medical stuff and non-medical stuff.
Yes, it's important because there's a lot of VR medical dispositif in VR, but we are not, and we have our place in this world also. We have our
yet, as you mentioned, that you target the medical market, and of course, if you are not a medical device, you cannot offer the solution to hospital or rehab center or trauma center. But yes, it's interesting. Okay.
So and maybe one day we will.
So perfect. So thank you all for your presentation. Thank you all for listening, and I wish you a good day. And thank you, Aurore, once again for your presentation.
Thank you, Lucas.
And please take a minute to give your feedback on today's webinar. Thank you all. Thanks.
Visit community.eithealth.eu to join our community and shape the healthcare landscape with us. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel.